All right, let's talk about something we all think is the absolute gold standard for staying healthy as we get older, the doily walk. It's simple, it's free, everyone recommends it. But what if I told you that for some of us, this daily ritual, with all its good intentions, might be quietly doing more harm than good?
I mean, we've all heard this a million times, right? Just get your steps in. It feels so correct. This advice is so universal that to even question it feels a little bit rebellious. But you know what? That's exactly what we need to do today.
So let's really get into it. What if the very thing you're counting on to protect your health is, over time, actually increasing pain? What if it's making you weaker and even setting you up for bigger problems down the road? It's a tough question, for sure, but it's one we absolutely have to ask. Now, let me be super clear about something. Walking is not the bad guy here. The problem starts when a healthy idea, I should walk more, turns into a rigid, unthinking rule, I must walk 10,000 steps today, no matter what. That's when we stop listening to our bodies, and that's when a good thing can start to backfire.
So here's the bottom line. The real danger isn't the act of walking itself. It's the context. It's walking day in and day out without the muscle support your joints desperately need. It's doing it without proper rest and without the variety of movement that makes you strong and adaptable in the real world.
So, how exactly can this seemingly perfect habit end up betraying us? Well, it really boils down to two huge and often totally invisible problems that can build up slowly over the years. First off, just think about the sheer number of steps, thousands of them, every single day. Each one of those steps sends a little jolt of force up through your feet, your knees, your hips, your back. Now, if the muscles around those joints are strong, they're like perfect shock absorbers, no problem. But if they're weak, well, your joints are taking the full hit over and over again. That's a recipe for wear and tear. And that brings us to the second betrayal, which is honestly the one that surprises people the most. A steady daily walk can give you this illusion of fitness. You feel active, you're hitting your goals on your watch, but you could actually be getting weaker. How is that possible? Well, that kind of steady state walking does next to nothing to build or even hold on to the muscle mass that is absolutely critical as we age. And this leads us to a really important word, sarcopenia. It's a fancy term for something pretty simple, the natural age-related loss of muscle. And here's the kicker. Just walking doesn't stop it. In fact, it can hide it. You feel like you're doing enough because you're moving, but underneath it all, you could be losing the very strength that keeps you stable, protects you from falls, and lets you live independently. Okay, so this isn't just about achy joints or weaker muscles. This imbalance creates a whole ripple effect of consequences through your body. We're talking about those little warning signs that are so easy to brush off as just, part of getting older. Let's take a look at what they are. You see how all these things are connected? Feeling tired all the time might not be proof of a good workout. It could actually be a sign your body is overstressed. Your balance getting a little worse, that nagging foot pain, even that guilt or anxiety you feel if you miss a day, these aren't separate issues. They're all symptoms pointing back to the same root cause, an unbalanced routine. And let's focus on balance for a second, because this is a huge one. We all assume that if we're walking, our balance must be getting better. But the truth is, just strolling down a flat sidewalk doesn't really challenge your stability muscles or your reflexes. Real-world balance, the kind that saves you when you trip over a crack in the pavement, that's a very specific skill, and you have to train it directly. Okay, so that's the problem laid out. I know it might sound a little bleak, but the good news is the solution isn't some crazy, complicated thing. So let's talk about how to build a routine that creates real, lasting strength and resilience. And please hear this. This is the most important takeaway of this entire conversation. This is not about telling you to stop walking. If you love your walk, please keep your walk. This is simply about adding a few other things to your week to create a routine that truly supports and protects your body for the long haul. So, what do we add? It's pretty straightforward. It boils down to these four pillars. First, some strength training. That's what builds those muscular shock absorbers we talked about. Second, train your balance on purpose. It really helps reduce fall risk. Third, work on mobility and flexibility to fight off stiffness. And fourth, and this is the one everybody forgets, you have to embrace rest. Rest is not lazy. It's when your body actually rebuilds and gets stronger. I mean, when you look at it side by side, the difference is just night and day.
On one hand, walking alone can put your joints at risk and slowly drain your energy. But when you switch to a balanced approach, suddenly your joints are protected, you're building or keeping your muscle, you're actively training your balance, and believe it or not, your energy levels actually go up. It's a total game changer. You see, this is more than just swapping out a few exercises. This is about a whole new philosophy of movement. It's about shifting our focus away from just counting steps and toward building real, usable strength that serves you in your actual life. Just look at the difference in how we talk to ourselves. The old mindset is full of pressure. I have to walk. More is always better. And that dangerous idea that pain is just part of getting old. The new mindset is about listening. It's about saying, how can I support my body today? It understands that quality is so much more important than quantity, and that pain isn't something to ignore. It's valuable information. So what's the new goal if it's not 10,000 steps? It's this. Just one thing. The single most important goal is to maintain your functional ability for life. That's it. The ability to do the things you need to do and love to do safely and without pain. Because these are the things that really matter, right? These are the true measures of health. Forget the fitness tracker for a minute and just ask yourself, can I get up off the floor easily? Can I haul in the groceries from the car without my back screaming? Can I take the stairs with confidence? That's what real-world strength looks like. That is the prize. Let's just end with this thought. Real health isn't flashy. It's not about bragging about your step count. It's the quiet confidence you feel in a body that is well supported and not just being run into the ground. So I'll leave you with this to chew on. As you go about your week, think about your own routine. Are you measuring your health in steps, or are you building it with strength? The answer to that question, well, it could change everything.